Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is the Death card. Now, don't freak out. It's not a terrible card. This is actually one of the best cards in the tarot pack. It's a card of transformation. It's a card of life. It's a card of change, yes. It's a card of rebirth. It's the opportunity to reinvent ourselves. It's the opportunity to live in harmony with change and to be an influence on that change. Yeah. You're the one that's cutting the way through the jungle. You are doing something that no one else has done before. You're doing something that I think you have never done before. Something that maybe you thought was not meant for you. Well, let's put this into some context. Let's see what is going on here. Look at that. Now we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and that's a very interesting combination. We've got an Eight of Cups. Yeah, that makes sense. Six of Wands. Yeah, we've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Prince of Pentacles. And we've got more fire. Fire on either side of us. Okay, that's all right. A Four of Swords. Yeah, I knew there'd be a four here somewhere. The Tower, I like that Tower. I like the Two of Pentacles. And yes, of course, the Eon card. Of course, we've got the Eon card. Let's select the mystery card, and then I'll tell you all about these energies. We're going to do one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. Let's see here. That looks good. We're just going to set it down right here. We're going to put Alien, Simon, Mork, Ripley right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the show you feel like you know what that card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. Yeah, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Okay. All right, let's look at what we got here. We've got major, major, major. All three of these major arcana cards are talking about change. Change that is different kinds of change. Changes that are gradual and happen over time, where suddenly like for me, for instance, now, as I get older, I'm suddenly realizing my glasses don't work the same that they used to. I'm starting to really have to do the thing where you lift them up to read, but I still need them for driving, so it's like my vision's not getting worse, but it's changing, and it's happening slowly over time. And that's the Death card here. It's slow and steady, right? Death is not in a hurry. It's going to get to everybody eventually, so don't worry. That's my little death mantra. And then the Tower. The Tower is one of those abrupt changes. Things, boom, fast. Things hit us. We don't know where it came from, but we've got to deal with it, right? We all have those things. I mean, what kind of change do we like? Do we like more, right? The slow, gradual change where before we know it, we're somewhere else. We are someone else. Doing something else. We don't know how we got here. Or the abrupt change where things just happen fast. You know, how do you peel off your Band-Aids, right? Is it slow or is it real fast? But then we have the third kind of change, and this is the one that's at the end of the path of the serpent. I'll move this candle back a little bit. Whoops. And see, when we're talking about change, it's the dove that I knocked over, right? It's not the serpent. The serpent is the representative of change. The serpent is that force that changes, right? That is a symbol of change. I wonder if some of you have a connection with serpents and snakes out there, beyond this channel, obviously. But if you have, maybe you have a picture or a memory of you holding a snake or something, like at the zoo or whatever, or you knew somebody that had snakes. There's a reason why we've been told to kind of ignore the dove here and focus on that serpent. The third kind of change, as I was talking about, is the change that we are intentionally taking part in. The slow, gradual change of the death card, not really up to us. And we can do things to slow it down, speed it up, to influence it in some ways, but we're not stopping that. The Tower card, not much we can do to influence that. We can try to prepare for it, try to get ready when surprises happen, those happy accidents, but we can't prevent them, we can't do anything because we don't know when they're coming. Those are just like that, things can change. But with the Eon card, this is a choice that we make. This is a change that you got to walk through this doorway. This is a divine doorway. Speaking of divine doorways, I have these little affirmation cards called divine doorway cards. Let's do one of these. Let's see what is the nature of this change for you. We may even do an Jing reading because, well, we're talking about change. And what kind of change is the right kind? Well, I think it's the kind that you're choosing. Yeah. Yep, that's going to be the one. A cure for longing, it says. I was going to say a longing for a cure, but this is a cure for longing. Cure for longing. And it says, love is happiness, a spark inside. Live deliberately and choose boldly. Then you have arrived. Well, that's perfect for this doorway of this eon judgment, rebirth, reawakening, the baptism by fire card. This card is the portal to the future. This card is the breakthrough card, right? This is the card. You go through this and nothing will be the same, right? Nothing will be the same. I feel as if there is something that you want to do. I feel like there is a cure for that longing. I think you are longing for the cure, and that is to do it. That is to do it. I feel like we've got a Four of Swords here. I feel as if there's something that you want. There's something that you feel that you kind of you feel drawn to. You feel as part of your destiny. But then I think that we're kind of in this mode right now. We're just like, that's not meant for me. Maybe it's love. Maybe it's a relationship.Maybe it is fulfillment. Maybe it is success. Maybe it's wealth. Maybe it's money. But I think there's a belief here, and it's this Four of Swords. We're going to be all over the place today. I can feel it. We're starting in your general energy here on the path of the serpent. The Four of Swords is saying, it's not meant for me. Well, this is what needs to change, right? This is what needs to change. If we're in this mindset that something is not meant for us, well, then we are not going to respond to the universe in such a way to make it happen. If anything, we're going to find ourselves making decisions to reinforce this belief that this is not meant for me. Well, make it meant for you. I don't believe that. I don't think the fours are where it's at, right? I don't think it's hip to be square, let's say. Because this is limiting. This is saying it's not meant for me. I wasn't supposed to have it. This is that fixed energy that just says, nah, I love, it'd be nice, but I guess it just wasn't meant for me. I wasn't meant to do that. I wasn't meant to go there. I wasn't meant to feel that or have that or be that or experience that. And I think that is such a limiting outlook. Now, there's no guarantee that it is meant for you, right? There's no promise of the opposite energy, because I don't think that life works that way. I don't think things necessarily are meant or not meant for us, right? Because everything is in this process of change, and we see the trinity, the holy trinity of change here: the death card, the tower card, the eon card. Okay? And the death card here is saying, hey, we're not getting any younger either. Right? So we have that death card. Okay? And with the death card, I feel like there is something that you want, something that you feel is, I think you feel it. You feel that it's meant for you. But there's this air energy that we've got here that's saying, thinking, it's not meant for me. I guess it's just not in the cards for me in my life. We can change that. You can change that. And that is by harmonizing with this process of change, by taking that intentional step. This is the reading that says if you want it, if you feel that, if that's something you're longing for, whether it's love, whether it's travel, whether it's money, success, fame, whether it is safety, solitude, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you, let's say in an ideal world, right, what you would have, go after it. We know we're not going to get there if we don't try it, right? And I think that this is part of this Knight of Pentacles here in the middle. And I think the Knight of Pentacles is you having this dream. I think that you've had the vision of what the future could be like, of what you really, really want. Your spiritual vision has said, yeah, I could see that for myself, that I could be that person in that place. That could be for me. I think you've felt that. And I don't know what it is that has locked you up in this Four of Swords where we just are saying, it's not meant for me. I guess that's not supposed to be for me, right? And what it really could be is this Eight of Cups. The glass is empty. It's draining out. The glass is, let's say, half empty with this card. So I think that because there's been a lot of challenges, a lot of disappointments in life, let's say this is a relationship. Let's say you really do, you want love. But we're in this mindset that is just, it's not for me. It's just not meant to be, right? Well, that's through a series of, I think, disappointments, right? A series of challenges. And it leads us to kind of think, well, maybe it's not for me. Bad stuff keeps happening. Maybe that's what is meant for me. Maybe this is also part of the same thing where we see this glass, this cup is half empty. Maybe that's just my lot in life. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to have. Maybe that's what is meant for me. Right? Let's turn that around, though, a little bit. Let's look at the Six of Wands that we've got. The Six of Wands is saying that, yeah, you might have been through a lot of bad stuff in your life. I feel like you had a lot of challenges. Who's the lawyer in the family, by the way? Spirit's telling me to mention the lawyer. I don't know if that's part of this kind of this history that you have. If you've had some legal troubles, let's say, and that kind of has given you part of this Four of Swords outlook that just says, well, that's just my lot in life, right? Anyway, the Six of Wands. That is everything that you've overcome. Now, you may still be looking at it like, God, my glass is only half full, or half empty, let's say, and it's cracked and it's leaking out. But you're here. You're here right now with a glass, right? You're at, and I think that some of you actually have your beverage in your hand right now, and you're halfway finished with it. Now, is that a disappointment? Or is that like, hey, I'm doing pretty good. I got half my drink left still. The Six of Wands says that you've overcome a lot in your life. It may still feel like disappointment. A lot of challenges. Maybe they didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to. It wasn't the best kind of outcome for a lot of these things. But you're here. You have overcome them. They are behind you. Maybe you're involved in something currently, I don't know. But the idea here is that whether we looked at them as a win or a loss in the moment, they were all a win. because you're here, because those things are in the past. Yeah? So it kind of doesn't matter if you won or lost in the moment. What matters is that they're done and you're here, right? So we could look at the glass as half full or half empty. It's really up to us. We could look at something as being meant or not meant for us, but this is putting us out of harmony with the universe. This is putting us a little bit closer to those abrupt changes. Because if we feel that something is or is not meant for us, then it's kind of like we're willingly giving up our autonomy. We're now saying that we are chained to this idea of fate and destiny. We're chained to the just the forces, the chaotic, evil forces of the universe that are just doing what they will, and we're just like at the mercy of it, right? We're just at the mercy of it. But I feel like that's something that we can change, right? So I think there is something that, I'm not trying to lecture anybody, I feel like there is something that you want to go for. But there's part of you that says, it's not meant for me, I'm not supposed to have it. These cards are just telling you to go for it. This is, you're going to be receiving a really big confirmation this week. I think that Two of Pentacles in this position, this is what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the light to go from red to green, right? And maybe I'm colorblind, but it looks white and black to me, but it's on and off. We're looking for that signal that says go. Yeah. And I think if you are looking for this signal, then you are open to this idea of change. The fours, any of the fours, like I said, it's not hip to be square. I love Huey Lewis, but sorry, I got to disagree. We don't want to have this idea that, something is not meant for me, because then it's like change is something that happens to us. And if that is something that happens to us, then we're always going to be at odds with it. Then the things that happen are always going to be detrimental to us. They're going to be something slow that creeps up on us that we're not aware of, right? I feel Spirit's showing me an X-ray of bones. Someone has an issue with bones or with with skeletal stuff, something like that. Anyway, change is either going to creep up on us slowly, or it's going to hit us like a ton of bricks, or we are going to make the choice to nudge the universe in our direction. We do have the potential, the power to be a little bit of an influence on change. Really depends on how we look at it. Depends on how deeply we understand it. And with that Six of Wands back there, you understand it more than you give yourself credit for. Something has happened now that we've got this attitude of like, I guess it's just not meant for me. We got to pull ourselves out of that, right? I feel like that's kind of what's keeping us down here on the bottom, like this, kind of pulled in to this energy here. And these two reinforce each other. The more we see our glasses as being half empty, the more we feel like, well, I guess I'm just not meant to have more in my glass, right? In my cup. But let's remember this vision that you had. Was this something from childhood? Is this something that you kind of feel in a different part of your soul, that Knight of Pentacles, this kind of future self, future life? Right? You got to start dreaming again. You got to reactivate this imagination, this spiritual vision. This is the energy that'll allow you to draw the picture of your best life. I mean, remember, if you watch the show, you know the Ten of Pentacles, the picture of your best life. Well, we've got to open ourselves up to dream, to have that vision again, to not limit ourselves and say, I guess it's just not meant for me. Everything is meant for you, if you mean it, right? If you have the intention and the will. The Prince of Pentacles up here at the top of the path of the dove, this is really your capability. Now, I think there is something that is something that's going on in a physical way with you, and I feel like it's something mechanical, right? Bones or something, something skeletal. But at the same time, you are still absolutely capable of building this future, of taking advantage of this spiritual vision that you have and doing this thing. And maybe the idea of the skeleton, because yes, there's the skeleton of the death card, okay. But I feel like there is a mechanical thing going on with you. And I feel like that might even be something that we're perhaps using as a reinforcing feeling with this Four of Swords, right? It's one of those things, for me at least, when I'm sick. We were sick last month, my wife and my daughter. And it's kind of that feeling when you're sick, you just feel like, I'll never be well again. I'll never be able to run and play and swim and jump and do all these things. This is my life now. This is my lot in life, right? And I remember my daughter, when she's really sick, she says, Daddy, are we ever going to get better? And that breaks my heart, because yes, even if this is how we feel for the rest of our lives, we will get better, right? It's about how we look at things and how we can adapt, how we can harmonize with the change, whether those changes are slow and gradual or abrupt, or whether those changes, the magic there, whether they're intentional. And I think that this is a very, very big creative opportunity for you, the Eight of Wands here in the future position. Whatever it is that you really feel in your heart, maybe you feel it in your bones, right? Maybe that's the skeleton here, is that it's something foundational and fundamental to you. But life has happened in such a way where you're just saying, well, I guess it wasn't meant for me after all. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Let's activate our imagination. Let's figure out, this is the Eight of Wands, this is about creative problem solving. Let's figure out how to go after these dreams and goals. Despite our setbacks, despite our illness or injury or whatever we feel is holding us back, let's find a creative way to go after it. Yeah. And now let's finish up the Path of the Serpent. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it helps out the channel. I really do appreciate that. All right, thank you. So the Tower card, of course. Change is just what kind of smacks us around in life. It's coming from outside. This is the card. This is the position of the environment. This is the relationship we have with the environment. We feel like the environment is just kind of danger and chaos and threatening, and it's just abrupt. It's chaos. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Things just happen for no reason at all. Yeah. But see, we're going up here. We're going up to that eon, that rebirth, reawakening card. Reawakening to our own spiritual vision, our own plans for life. What is it that you want in life? Do you want love? Do you want success? Do you want fortune and fame, fortune, glory? Do you want quiet? Do you want solitude? Do you want romance? Do you want travel? Any of these things. You put the intention out there. You put in this effort. We change our thinking and our feeling. Down here, we try to reharmonize these because we already know how. And I think the universe will give you that confirmation that you need. I think in the next, what's between 6 and 8? It's going to be a week, about 7 days. I think you're going to get that confirmation. Okay? You're going to get that green light. And that life that you've been longing for, here's the cure for that longing, right? And the Eon card is that portal that you step through it, and that is you taking charge of your life. Now, we can't prevent the Death card. We can't prevent the Tower card. That kind of stuff is still going on, is still going to affect us. We've got to take control of those things that are within our power. And that's the Eon card, making that decision, okay? Powerful, powerful decision to change your life, to go after those things that you, at one time, you thought were meant for you. They are. They are meant for you. Okay? Let's look at the mystery card. A lot of really exciting energy in this reading. A lot of fire, 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 fire. I mean, this is something that is trying to activate your creative spirit, right? And pull us out of the thinking and feeling muck that we're in. Reharmonize with the universe, with spirit. So I'd like to see another 6. 6 of Pentacles would be cool. 6 of Wands, any of the 6s I would be happy with. Okay, maybe the 6 of Swords would be the best one. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's take a look. Oh, it's a 5 of Pentacles. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles gets us out of the 4, right? When we talk about the 4, this is us kind of resisting change. This is us feeling like things are stuck, things are fixed, things are already written in stone, and we're not going to put in any effort into it, right? This is just kind of, it's a passive resistance, right? And then the 5 usually would be us trying to force change. Well, this wasn't meant for me. Well, I'm just going to cram myself in there. We're pushing in through the door, you know? This isn't the solution either. We don't want to just push in through the door. You know, we've got to be in the 6, the kind of the harmony. But the fact that the 5 is the confirmation card, this is telling me that we are no longer resisting change, that we are now trying to walk with it, you know. There is the conscious decision and the choice to embrace change. We're not forcing it. Yeah. So when we see the Eon or Judgment card at the end, we're making that decision to walk through that doorway. We're getting the confirmation. And when I say confirmation from the world around you with the 2 of Pentacles, this is a sign, a synchronicity, an omen, something random, something kind of out of place, right? Something that is really going to stick out to you. Something that will be a synchronicity. And it will tell you that, yes, you need to go toward that, you need to go through that doorway and be part of the process of change, right? But make no mistake, the Tower and the Death card are always going to be there too. But now it's like we're kind of the third part of this trinity of change, right? Because we're up here with that Eon card. But I think the 5 here is trying to remind us of that harmony. We don't want the 4, we don't want the 5, we want the 6. We want to be open to change, be in harmony with change. We're not resisting it, but we're also not forcing it. Right there, kind of the next logical, transcendent step is to kind of be in harmony with both the active and the passive, right? Influencing change, but not forcing it. Allowing change to happen, but not being completely resistant to it, right? Trying to fight it off of us. So I think this is a good reminder of the kind of tact that we need going forward. But I think that this is a good card because the 5 of Pentacles is about change. Yeah. So when we feel like we're stuck here and this is not meant for us, well, I feel like that attitude's changing. I feel like circumstances are going to change, but you've got to kind of make the first move here, We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link that is up in the corner or down below in the video description. New readings for Gemini every Monday and Friday, but I'm here every day. Just come on back, see me again tomorrow. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free, doesn't cost you anything. And let me know where in the world you're watching from. All right. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.